This graph tracks the global box office footprint of a single Indian cinema production. It starts with a flat baseline budget of 250 crore rupees. Then we see two massive consecutive vertical spikes reaching roughly 1,350 crore and 1,434 crore. Combined, that is a 2,800 crore return. Achieving these numbers with an A-rated, hyper-violent espionage thriller ignores conventional four-quadrant blockbuster logic. The extreme violence naturally restricts the audience pool, yet the financial returns mirror a massive family-friendly holiday release. The central gravity holding this commercial experiment together is lead actor Ranveer Singh, operating at peak star power. For financiers and studio heads, this performance offers a structural masterclass in asset optimization. The massive returns stem directly from unconventional production and distribution mechanics, rather than standard movie marketing. The production's initial blueprint was a single, sprawling cinematic epic shot concurrently over 15 months. During post-production, the studio pivoted. They chose to divide the massive volume of footage into two separate theatrical releases. That decision forced extreme runtimes onto the audience. The first installment clocked in at 214 minutes, and the sequel ran for 229 minutes. This presents a central dilemma for studio executives looking to replicate the success. Pushing runtimes past the 3.5-hour mark risks severe audience fatigue. The question is whether this split epic model serves as a repeatable blueprint for maximizing theatrical returns, or if it remains a high-risk anomaly reliant on a perfect storm of timing and zero competition. The combined production budget for both films was tightly managed between 250 and 255 crore rupees. Shooting the entire narrative back-to-back cuts the financial risk of greenlighting a sequel in half. You avoid renegotiating higher talent fees and rebuilding expensive sets years down the line. This ROI flowchart shows the post-production split. A single 250 crore budget block branches into an 85 crore Netflix sale and a 150 crore Jio Hotstar sale. That combined 235 crore in streaming rights nearly recouped the entire production cost before a single theater ticket was sold. Independent of that streaming safety net, the theatrical stage achieved 5 to 6 times profitability on its own. Splitting a concurrently shot film multiplies the monetization windows exponentially while keeping the baseline production costs static. To bridge the gap between Part 1 and Part 2, the studio applied a marathon theatrical strategy, keeping the first film in cinemas for 100 straight days. They followed that with a tactical global re-release of Part 1 just days prior to the sequel's debut to artificially spike hype. By transferring that momentum directly into aggressive paid previews for the sequel, the studio capitalized on the existing audience frenzy. Those paid previews alone earned a record-breaking 75 crore rupees. These mechanics demand a clean-run calendar. The strategy requires an environment with absolutely no major box office competition. With sustained prints and advertising spend, combined with tactical re-releases, a studio can manipulate a sequel's launch from a standard opening weekend into a multi-week compounding theatrical event. The franchise anchored its fictional espionage plot to deep, real-world South Asian geopolitical traumas. The narrative directly integrated the 1999 IC-814 hijacking. It also included the 2001 Parliament attacks to escalate the stakes of the intelligence operations. The 2008 Mumbai attacks served as a core emotional driver for the protagonist's revenge arc. The sequel extended this approach by using the 2016 banknote demonetization as an extended plot device. This hyper-nationalist framing carried a financial penalty, a total ban in Gulf Cooperation Council countries, costing an estimated $10 million in revenue. However, that loss was countered by massive engagement from the North American diaspora, generating over $22 million in 10 days and breaking regional lifetime records. Leaning heavily into polarized nationalist themes acts as a lucrative financial multiplier in Western diaspora markets, easily offsetting regional censorship losses. The near 8-hour total runtime and severe narrative bloat resulted in intense critical backlash. With positive reviews hovering around 35 to 40%, the highly polarized critical reception stood in stark contrast to the record-breaking audience demand. International press directed ideological criticisms at the project, linking the film's messaging directly to the ruling political administration's rhetoric. The ban in certain territories triggered extreme piracy metrics. including 2 million illegal downloads in Pakistan alone. This release model borrows heavily against critical goodwill. It relies entirely on raw, spectacle-seeking audience behavior overriding negative press. The strategy forces audiences to endure grueling runtimes and controversy, but rewards the studio with a 2,800 crore empire built on a 250 crore foundation. Looking at this decision matrix mapping risk against scale, we identify the ideal candidates: A-list action IPs with deep cultural resonance and an uncontested release calendar. The Dhurandhar strategy lands firmly in the top right quadrant, requiring high risk tolerance and massive scale. Mid-tier films, projects with weak narratives, or studios heavily reliant on the GCC market for baseline profitability must avoid this playbook. Splitting an epic doubles the box office, but only if an airtight marketing machine and ironclad audience loyalty are in place to prevent it from becoming a two-part financial disaster.